Hey guys, it is Thursday, October 3rd, 2024, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. We are continuing with the new month of October 2024, themed with free saturation plugins and creative effects. And of course, we're going to take a look at some instruments also. So let's jump right into it. I don't have much time to waste. All right, guys. So the free saturation plugins for today is as follows. October 3rd, 2024. So first up, we have BPB Saturator, which is short for Bedroom Producers Blog. That's what the BPB stands for. So with this one, pretty modern interface, very clean, not too much fluff. And they made it that way so it'll be very lightweight on your system. It won't tax your resources on your computer. So the interface is resizable and straightforward. You can see on the interface we have a high pass filter over here, low pass filter, which is very useful. We have input and output gain controls, which will help with the gain staging and just balancing out the levels as you start to crank the saturation. Cool thing about this one is that they give you both tube saturation and tape saturation. So you're getting a combination of odd order harmonics and even order harmonics, and you could dial them into taste. You could use one, the other, or a combination of both. So it's very useful, great for sound design. If you use it on something that you're trying to be a little bit more gentle with, be very careful because it is very harsh. So don't, crank it too much. If you have it on your lead vocals or like an instrument that you really care about and you don't want to alter the sound too much, dial it into taste. And then also, if you can, use a wet dry knob if you have that in your DAW, or set it up as a send. But this one is very useful. Next up, we have Ferric Mark II. This one's been around for a while. They've been updating it. That's why we're up to the Mark II version. So a lot of algorithmic changes and optimizations has been made under the hood with the coding, all that good stuff. Hopefully soon we get a version that is resizable, because I know I have an issue with that on my laptop because of the high resolution screen. Plugins come out super tiny. So otherwise, this one is cool because it's doing a combination of dynamics, shaping, saturation, and limiting more on the levels like a clipper. So you're getting very, very intelligent saturation. It's not just, straightforward. There's a lot of cool things happening behind the scenes. So over here we have fast and slow attack times, similar to kind of like compression. You have a big dynamics knob. You kind of crank that a bit. And then over here we have the saturation knob, and they have a limiter knob. So you can dial it into taste. There's an input level here, so you can drive it some more into the plugin, your gain of your signal into the plugin. And they have a bypass switch here. mod and something. I can't even make out what that says. Mod and class, I think that says. And you have a filter cutoff right here, so you can roll off some of the low end of the signal specifically for the compressor. So it's not going to affect your sound. It's just affecting the side chain that's being fed into the compressor. That will dictate how the compressor reacts to your signal. So if you don't want it overreacting to the low end of the signal, you're gonna dial in this sidechain filter to take off some of the intensity of the low end. It filters all the way up to 250 hertz, so that's useful to get rid of the low end if you don't want that affecting the way mainly the compressor reacts. I'm not sure if that affects the saturation signal also, but definitely check out Ferric from Variety of Sound. Next up, we dealing with these creative effects. First up, this one is very, very new on the scene. It's called Vocal Menace from Chris, I want to say Leap or Light. So with this one, very interesting. Like I said, it's very fresh and new on the scene, maybe a week old. And this developer is new to me also. Never heard of him before, but it's a good start right out the gate with this plugin. The look of it, the functionality, and just everything they threw in for a free plugin. So because it is a modern plugin, you have your capable to resize it right here at the corner. We have the settings cog. There are some presets here, and then you have your input, your output gain. This graphic in the center reacts depending on the signal and how much you're driving it. Then they have sheen, girth, cup, wash, call, and pain. These are all different effects that you will be dialing in. So it's a multi-effect plugin that quote unquote is intended for vocal, hence the name Vocal Menace, but you can use it on whatever you want. But this is one of those plugins that it's great for creating like a Vox, some like really harsh over the top effects, or you could just dial in very tastefully on your main vocal. But sheen is gonna give you some saturation on the top end. Girth is gonna give you some more body. I don't remember what cup is. It might be a bit of a filter. Wash is reverb. Call is delay. Pain is something else. I might be a little bit off with some of those, because I'm going off of memory from like 4 days ago when I was messing around with it. But click the link in the description, check out the details, look up videos online that actually does demos and explains it to you. But this one's a good one to check out, Vocal Menace. Next up, these two, I can't even explain them because once again, this is from Freak Show Industry. I talked about them in the last video. And these are weird creative effects. They are great for sound designers, people who literally just design weird sound effects for movies, shows, and for whatever else they need sound effects, and they just need to take a sound and get something totally different and weird out of that sound. Between this one, Dumpster Fire, and Pocket Dimension will help you get there. So Dumpster Fire is more dealing within the realm of pitch shifting, but it's like a pitch shifter gone wrong. So once again, they have these weird indescript controls, and they did that on purpose. They just want you to run your signal through it and start tweaking these parameters and just see what happens to your sound. Similar to that, we have Pocket Dimension. Pocket Dimension is a little bit more tame, but it's still pretty wild stuff. The interface is wild. And this one is dealing more with spatial effects, so like reverb, delay, and just how everything sits in the space, whether it sounds far away or close up. So there might be a bit of panning, maybe binaural panning also. So a combination of delay, binaural panning, and just reverb, overall spatial and positioning effects. So, Try those out. Throw them on your sound. See what happens. It gets chaotic. So next up, we have our free synths/instruments. And first up, we have Dext. This one's been around for a while. I think the interface needs to be updated a bit. I remember I tried to study synthesizing with this, and I wish it had a more user-friendly interface for learning synthesis. Something like Vital is a lot more conducive, and just like the visual layout is a lot more conducive to you learning and understanding synthesis and like building your own synth sounds from scratch. Hats, snares, kicks, 808s, sound effects, risers, just very basic bread and butter sounds, basses, 808s. I was learning that stuff, and Dext, you can do it. It's just the interface is a bit confusing because of how they have it laid out. It can do it. It is a very powerful synth. Don't get me wrong. It's just the interface it's not user friendly for a beginner that's trying to learn. But otherwise, it does come with a ton of presets. You can find a lot more presets online. So Dext is basically the software version of the famous Yamaha keyboard, the DX7. And it is so closely related that you can actually take the cartridge, like expansion cartridge files from your DX7 and somehow load the presets in here. So you can take the expansion cartridge from the physical device and load those files in here. So the sounds that you're hearing is a one-to-one translation of what comes from the physical keyboard. And some people actually design sounds on the keyboard, export it, and they put it online for you to load it into Dext. So there are a ton of presets for Dext if you're looking for presets. I'm not sure how many it comes with off the bat out of the box, but it's a pretty complicated synth. I just wish the interface was a little bit more user-friendly. I don't think this one is resizable. I would love to see some support where they update this, make the interface a little bit more modern, a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more visual with what's going on with the routing, because you can do, what is that thing called? It's a certain type of modulation where you feed one oscillator into another, and it very, very useful, very, very powerful synth. But because the interface is a little bit confusing, it can kind of throw you for a loop. So that is Dext. Last up here we have PG8. PG8 is also an emulation of a specific keyboard. And they're saying, I think it's the JX8P, and they're saying you can import the System X data you can import and export that data from that keyboard, the JX8P keyboard. This one comes with a bunch of presets also. Decent sounding sounds. They got some good like main sounds in there. And of course, there's a lot of secondary sounds, accompanying sounds that you can get to layer and stack. Some decent sounds in here. So definitely check this one out. It goes up to 12 voices of polyphony. You got your oscillators, typical filters. They're saying it has stereo chorus, and this one does ring modulation. So definitely check those out, guys. The link is in the description, and the link will take you to this blog page where you can check out all what I've just discussed and their corresponding download links if you're trying to get to the website, get more information about them, and download these plugins yourself so you can add them to your arsenal, check them out, see how you like them. So also there's a link in the description for a video series that I did called PC Specs and how it relates to music production. So if you're looking to understand how your computer works along with your DAW, the internal parts of your computer works with your DAW to help you produce music, mix, master, record music, compose, whatever it is. This series will help you understand. So if you're having issues with your system, this will give you some insight on what may be causing the issue. If you're looking to upgrade and get a new system or get your first system, this video series will help you understand where you need to focus your money as far as what needs to be strong, what needs to be a lot, how much RAM do you need, what type of CPU you need to get, what's important, CPU speed, CPU core, how it all correlates with what you're trying to do so you can get the right system for your workload and your workflow. Also, there's a link in the description for these videos. It's a growing playlist for these videos that I do twice a week. If you're looking for more free VST plugins, there are over 300 videos there. If you need more plugins are being presented in those videos. So that's it, guys. We are in the new month, themed with free creative effect plugins and saturation plugins. So check back next week. I should be back next Tuesday to continue with that theme as we roll on to the end of the year. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, you will see me in the next video.